Frank the Crank Camacho. We haven't seen the man in quite some time since his knockout loss to Justin James, man, back in when COVID kind of first started, bro. It was like the beginning of 2020. And he's fighting Manuel Roberto Torres. And this is a dude who is a finisher, bro. He's 12-2, 5 knockouts, 6 submissions. But AJ, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room regarding the situation is that Torres brought Dana White to his feet on the Dana White Contender Series when he knocked out his opponents. Something England. I don't remember his first name, but England is his last name. Now, I was like, when I was watching it back, I actually remember watching this fight. And when I was watching it back, I was all like, this dude, like, this is the one where I'm like, why do you get credit for this? You poked a dude in the eyes and then punched him after the ref just was like, no, whatever, you're good, and then fucking finished him, and that was it. So it wasn't a real finish. I'm not saying that he wasn't on track to finish him. He looked incredible, with that very tall, upright Muay Thai stance, front kicks to the face. Like, he looked great. But you poked a dude in the eye, he goes back like, hey, ref, and the referee's like, huh, and then you just finish him, and that's it. I thought that was super unfair. I thought that you shouldn't get awarded a contract for that. Personally, I think you should have to redo that and get a real true finish. But either way, if you look at his last 5, 4 of his 5 victories, or 4 of his last 5 fights, he's finished his opponents in the first round. Rear naked choke, guillotine, and punches. What do you make of this situation, brother?
Yeah, I agree with you, Derek, on that. And I don't think he should have won that fight that way, No. But what I liked about it, I didn't like any of the way that fight was unfolding. I agree he was Torres was on the path to win. He was looking a little bit better. But if you poke somebody in the eye, and it is what it is. Like it's not the it shouldn't be happy to win the fight that way. Yeah. What I did like about that fact though is he looked at Torres, looked at the ref, saw he was doing anything, and then shook his head like, nah, brother, you ain't escaping this one. Yeah. I like that killer aspect in a fighter, whether it was an eye poke or not, or whether the glove slipped in, whatever it is, because you can even see he pushed up on it's all besides the point, man. I like the killer instinct that Torres comes in with this one, and it's going to make for an interesting fight because Frank the Crank Camacho is no small task at all, dude. This dude is no slouch on a rough test, but one of the ultimate litmus tests, man. We talk about litmus tests all the time, and that's what Torres has faced in front of him, man. And I agree with you. That nice long stance that Torres takes where he's kind of tall, lanky, he has the wide legs. He's looking good. The only problem with that, your chin's a little up in the air, and Frank Camacho has absolute bombs in his hands, man. So this is going to be a very fun test for Torres coming forward, as well as for Camacho, man, because if he gets this win and takes the heat that Torres has going forward, it's going to be looking nice for Camacho, man. But that's also another hard one to do because Torres is a wild man.
So, AJ, you're a fan, right? And you're casual. Not you, but I'm hypothetically. Casual fan. And you're saying, and I'm your buddy, right? And I'm like, hey, AJ, bro, you're telling me to tune into this Frank Camacho versus Manuel Torres fight. Why am I watching this dude Camacho fight? He's 2-5 in the UFC. He's 1-4 in his last 5. Why did this matchup get made against this UFC debutant? This makes no sense to me, right? But I'll make it make sense for you right now, right? 3 of the last 5 people that Frank Camacho has fought and he has lost to are the top of the fucking top. Beneil Dariush, Jeff Neal, and Drew Dober, brother. And I'll tell you what, man, yeah, you get finished, you lose, whatever. This is the top of the heap. Now, this veteran in Frank Camacho has been around forever, who has 17 knockout victories to his name, gets matched up after a very long layoff against a dude making his UFC debut. So, AJ, you tell me, either the UFC brass is doing Camacho a favor or they're saying, Torres, since you got that controversial win on the Contender Series, we're throwing you to the dogs, brother. I mean, how are you weighing it on the scales?
Well, one, answer your first question, man. Why I think this one got made is because maybe not now. Maybe on the skid, Camacho, not necessarily right now, but in the locker room, the name Frank Camacho holds a lot of weight and makes people shake in their boots, man. That's right. One of those ones where you're like, shit, I'm going up against a Crank, like, damn, like, all right, bro, we got a fight on. Yeah. Now, I think they're throwing Torres to the dogs on this one. I think, and you could even see it, both Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby were next to Dana White. Dana White was pumped up for the knockout, but the other 2 dudes were like, should this be this one? I think this is a get back, man. I think this is a get back saying, okay, yeah, sure, you won that one, but we're feeding you to an absolute savage in Frank Camacho. How are you going to perform, young man? Let's see. Yeah. And will he step up to the test? I don't know. But yeah, I think the real thing here, though, Frank Camacho holds a lot of weight in the locker room, man. A lot of people know this dude's a savage, and you cheat him light, or you take him lightly, it's going to be a short night for you. You're going to be sleeping.
Absolutely, and that's the kind of beauty is that you could see this as a get back for Camacho, but he also has all the pressure, right? There's no pressure on Torres. Torres has everything to win. Camacho has everything to lose. So it's vice versa on that aspect too. Either way, I think this is going to be a fun matchup. The long, lanky, rangy kicks of Torres are going to be interesting because Camacho wants to get forward, get in your face, throw big bombs, mostly utilize the boxing. He does have some good head kicks and some of that good stuff like that, but we might see a new revitalized Frank Camacho. That's the rough thing with these fighters taking long layoffs is that we haven't seen him fight in 2 years. All right, well, where are you going to go here? You know what I mean? Like, or in a year or something like that. It's been a minute since we've seen him fight. That's the point. But I think that the biggest test is going to come in the grappling exchanges, right? Torres has a nasty guillotine, a nasty rear naked choke. He did get knee barred recently, so he's not susceptible to losing fights via submission. But Frank Camacho is not the dude who's going to come in and just try to submit you. So worst case scenario, you get rocked, you dive for Camacho's legs, and you say, all right, that's going to be the variable. That's where I really don't know, brother, to be honest, because the man has 5 knockouts, 6 submissions. So anything is up for game right here. So let's talk wagers. Plus 130 is Frank Camacho, the veteran with all the experience, with all the knockout prowess. He's the underdog going into this fight. On paper, I get it. In real life, watching fights, I don't really get that. That doesn't make sense to me. That sounds like a live dog because Torres is minus 155 favorite. Now, you tell me what's the best prop right here for TKOs between the two. Frank Camacho on TKO plus 325. Manuel Torres on TKO plus 215. So they think that Torres has a better shot at getting the TKO. In terms of points, plus 350 for Camacho and plus 500 for Torres. So what do you make? And lastly, tell me your pick, and that's obviously going to lend into, do you think this fight goes to finish, or do you think that it goes to a decision?
Did you say say the decision ones or the points one again?
So the points prop for Camacho is plus 350. The points prop for Torres is plus 500.
Yeah. Okay, so I see it the exact same way, man. I see Camacho more likely to win that point battle, but I think Torres can get the KO, and that's actually what I was going for, man. Torres KO round 3. I think he's more likely to get the stoppage, and I was actually surprised with the money line right there as well. I thought it was going to be switched. I thought Camacho was going to be the favorite, Torres coming in as the underdog. We'll see what it is, but I kind of like that Torres by KO money right there, man. I forgot the number already again, but I think that one's more likely because Frank Camacho, he can always depend on that old school veteran, mindset mentality and make this one a point fight. So if it goes that way, Camacho by points, but I like the Torres by KO. And like I said, I already forgot the numbers, so please remind me.
Plus 215 for the Torres TKO. So
yeah, I like that.
That's interesting, brother. I'm rolling with Frank Camacho in this fight. I think the veteran prowess is going to get it done, and I'm actually going to take a flyer on his prop with the TKO at plus 325. However, AJ, this is going to be the big key for you and for the folks who are listening at home. If you are going to rock with me on this Frank Camacho pick, I advise you, this is another one, take the money line. Plus 130, it's the safest pick. No matter how he gets it done, whatever plethora of ways, I think that plus 130 on Frank Camacho is already live dog spelled all over it. Now, AJ, you're rocking with Torres here. So are you going to solidify that TKO on Torres?
I'm solidifying, brother. TKO round 3. I think that's the way Torres is going to get it done, especially on a counter shot or something like that. Little slip action we see going. I like that plus 250 coming back.
All right, brother. So the over and under is 1.5 rounds on this one. So you're taking the over, yeah?
I'm taking the over.
And I think that if a TKO does happen for Camacho, I like the under. I think it's got to happen quick. I don't think that this goes out into the 3rd round. I don't know if Camacho is going to be able to put him out in that, you know what I mean, that way the fight goes. But I'm rolling with the experience once again. I do think that Torres is a stud. He's been signed to the promotion for like 7 months or something like that, so it's been a long time for him to get his first fight. But the point here is that Frank Camacho is still only, even though it sounds like this dude's like 45, been in the UFC forever, this dude is 32 years old in the prime of his fucking career. Just had a nice layoff, let the body rejuvenate, let the mind rejuvenate. I think he's coming to bring some damage, brother. So let's go. That's going to be the difference between us. I got Camacho, AJ got Torres.